What's up, everybody in the interwebs? Welcome back to the finale of The Last of Us Season 2. Was it good? I'm going to be straight honest with you. No, it wasn't, guys. It fucking wasn't. But that being said, before we get into it, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I am 4 away from hitting 900 subs, and that would mean I will be in the race for the 100 to get to 1K. And the 1K... I got plans, folks. I got plans. And do me a favor, share out the stream as well. It's been a fucking day. If you can't tell, my hair is still wet. I've got like Hermione hair going on here, but it's all right. I've got Blue and Ryan backstage. I'm going to bring them out and we're going to get into this.
You said Hermione?
Guys.
I seen the new Hermione.
Hermione hair.
Look nothing like Hermione.
No, look, I've got Hermione hair. Like
Okay.
the really just whatever. Anyway, what's up, guys?
I'm back.
Whoa.
I'm
having
back.
fun. What does that mean, though? Well, you have Hermione hair. Your hair looks nice. At least I think
from
so.
The movie, when it frizzes, it's very frizzy right now. You can't tell because of the camera and the lighting, but
Okay.
it is very wavy and frizzy and out of. It's great. The women in the chat understand what they understand. They get it. They get it. What a fucking ride, guys. We're here. And I'm going to tell you right now, I do not think I'm going to be back for season 3.
Don't say that. Come on now. Come on.
The sad part is like the actress who plays Abby, I forgot her name, Ryan, you probably remember.
Caitlin.
She's such a good actress.
Beaver, but I want to say Caitlin Beaver all the time.
Dever. Dever?
Yeah.
It's Dever.
I mean, to her credit, if anybody's going to carry a season, it would be her over Bella Ramsey. So
yeah, but you know where it's headed to, though. So similar.
Well,
like I get why some people were like, "Hey, I'm not going to watch House of Dragon."
Yeah. Because
I know where it's going, Game of Thrones, and I get it. But to be honest, season 3 is probably going to come out, and I'm going to be like, "Hey guys." Yeah. We got to cover this.
Well, because this keeps making so many changes from the game, honestly, we have no idea what to expect next season because they keep changing shit. So,
yeah, I watched the behind the scenes too, which was interesting. The little like segment they do after the episode.
I always watch them too. It's because you have Neil Druckmann looking in the mirror, just like kissing himself, and I'm the best man on earth.
I hate that man so much.
I do me. Yeah.
I don't know where I was. Anyway, my brain like
that's what this show does.
Let's say hi to the chat. Oh, there is a super chat goal. Again, I'm always like grateful for anybody who drops super chats. But if I hit the super chat goal, I will stream on Monday for Bring Her Back. What I want to do, I think, is maybe do Talk to Me, Bring Her Back. So we'll talk about Talk to Me a little bit because and then do double feature of Bring Her Back. So if I hit the super chat goal, it would incline me more to do so. Do it. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's say hi to chat. Zax, should I watch the finale or skip it? Ooh, skip it. Because I was so fucking pissed.
Watch us instead, Zax.
Yeah. Watch us instead, bro. Rachel, what's going on? I saw your post in the Discord of the logs, and you gave me Final Destination anxiety. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. William Richards, how bad? Pretty fucking bad, my friend.
Really bad?
Pretty fucking bad. Really bad. Like, oof. Bad.
This is how bad it is. I would rather watch a rewatch of something on Netflix than watch the finale of what I did. And that's what I've been doing to try to cleanse my palate, is rewatching stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because
yeah. Cinevere's Fish, what's up? Let's fucking go, nasty nads. You right. You damn right. And then they all die at the end, if only. Oof.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say to those who watch this on replay and those who watch this live and you're probably just lurking and stuff and you're like, fuck, what's with all the Last of Us hate? I want to just preface this. I think that's the right word. I do not hate the actors. I could give two fucks about their outside lives. It is the writing quality that has just killed this show completely to me. And I think we've said this a couple of times. They had a foundation to maybe fix the issues that the gamers didn't like from the second game of the storytelling, and they decided not to. I really liked season 1. I thought season 1 was fine. It was great writing and stuff, but here we go. Season 2, not so good. And before we get into the season 1, rushed through the first game, added unneeded bullcrap. Second game gets apparently 3. Yep.
It's a total
season 1 should have been two seasons.
Yeah, it's like season 1, and Rhino's just playing the game. They cut like 40% of the game out to add new shit, but in season 2, they're adding new stuff to the game that they don't need it. It's a total opposite. Like,
and I saw this tweet, and I do like John a lot. I don't know if everybody can see it. It's a little small. I do like John a lot. I follow him. He has some really good takes. And I thought this was very interesting. He said, I think largely The Last of Us Season 2 was very good. Many of the criticisms are clearly driven by the ulterior motive campaigns. Bella Ramsey is a wonderful Ellie. The season felt rushed like a speed run, and Abby not being jacked definitely hurts the TV version of the character. What the fuck is going on, John? Are you having an off day?
So he's literally high on the crack pipe. Again, no, Bella Ramsey is the worst pick you could have. I could have actually got a fucking mop and dyed the little, like, you know, the little part of the mop. They were like, you know, brown hair and stuff like that, and put a smiley face on it, and it'd be better than Bella Ramsey. And Caitlin Dever would have been a better Ellie by far.
The girl who plays Dina would have been a better Ellie.
Yes,
to be honest.
yes.
Especially in this episode, the very final shot with Abby looking down at the football stadium. There's one shot where I'm looking at her. I'm like, wow, yeah, you could say she's like 95% closer to Ellie more than fucking Bella Ramsey is.
And quite frankly, too, at the same time, it's like, okay, you would look at that as, I mean, you know, Tommy or Joel or something like that. None of them are above 6 foot. And they would look at her and be like, going, dude, really? Seriously? Are you kidding me with this crap? And it's just like, it's just so nonsensical. And I was like, okay, I get it from the game. I don't like the game. It's stupid. She looks like a giant transgender weirdo that's on steroids. Fine. In this, she's the leader. Like, dude, a sneeze would knock her off the pedestal being leader.
Yeah.
Well, somebody asked, why does Abby being Jack hurt the TV character? If you didn't play the game, everything she's done still works in the context of the show. And he said, no, because the whole idea with Abby is that she spent years building herself to be into an unstoppable tank. And I don't feel the same sense of intimidation from the TV version of the character. Dever is great, but I just don't understand why they felt the look wasn't important. But here's the thing. Why is he focused on that, not focused on Bella Ramsey as Ellie? It's probably she's probably the least likely person to look like Ellie if he's going to be game accurate on it. No offense. Again, no offense to the actress, no offense to her face, no offense to any of that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people, I don't want to come off as I'm making fun of her appearance, because that's what people are going to focus on the most instead of the actual critiques of the show. I think it just blindsides people. People are like, you're just saying that because you don't like the actress. It's not even that. I just don't like the writing of this show, and I'm realizing it, especially with this finale. This finale was fucking dumb. It was fucking dumb.
Yeah, and even like with Abby, her appearance as she's hitting Joel, you know what? Okay, it's a bad way to die in a game, but being that she's like 6'4" and like 260 fucking pounds of protein, at least her hitting Joel with a golf club, I could at least buy that. Like, it would be hurting him and possibly beating him to death. But yeah, when you see Bella Ramsey even the girl playing Abby in this show, I'm like, it's Caitlin. I'm like, sweetheart, but I mean, I've seen 12-year-old girls bigger than you. You having a golf club, I mean, I just would easily just grab with one hand and just to bash it out of your hand. Come on. It's like, you've got like, you're 106 fucking pounds. Like, she may hit his damaged knee, but like he would easily overpower her. Come on.
Yeah. Sketch, my man. Neil did an interview on Last Stand Media. You can see the gears working in his head, but the dude's creative decisions are just frustratingly poor. Yes, my friend, you are correct. And for you, well, we always have to start with a good one. Blue, German or Spanish?
German. German's always better.
Und schmeiß ich dich ins Feuer! Du dämliches Schweinstück! Du willst mir tun! Ich werd's dir zeigen! Nein!
It just sounds more evil.
Yeah.
Bella Ramsey doesn't play Ellie like she's supposed to in the show. I think in that game. Okay. No, and I mean, I think that's the common denominator that everybody's been talking about, the critique of this game. I just thought it was very interesting for somebody who, like, again, I really like John's takes on a lot of stuff. I agree on most of it, but I feel like he himself is blindsided by thinking that the only reason people are critiquing the show is because of the ulterior motives of just saying it because they don't like Bella, not actually realizing that the show is very poorly written. There's only 2 episodes in this season that are highly regarded, and both of them have Pedro in it.
Yeah.
That tells you something. So I thought it was a very interesting take on it. Again, I do respect John. It's just I don't agree with that, man. That's grasping for straws. That's trying to blame something else without actually realizing that maybe people are right about the critique of this show.
Well, as we'll get into, Nadia, I'm not sure if you and Ryan saw this, but somebody shared the stats where season 1 finale, season 2 finale, they lost 60% of their viewership.
Yep.
So
52% drop. Yep.
That tells you right there.
That tells you. To me. Yeah, it tells you that the normies, again, like those that play the video game, were like going, dude, what the are you serious? Like, what the hell are you talking about here? And we're not even actually into the chunk of where it gets even worse, where you have to follow Abby around. And quite frankly, again, this is not a shot at Caitlin Deaver. It really is not. I do think that, quite frankly, in this final episode, it kind of looked like they flattened her boobs a little bit. Look, I'm just saying, kind of like.
I mean, I don't know why that matters.
Well, because it does, because it's Abby from the game is a transgender allegory. She's basically, they don't tell you what she is technically. And that's I think they're skewing to this direction to try to probably get the rage clicks, as I would put it. I don't care. I don't give a shit about the show. It's not something that I'm gonna flip out about. But quite frankly, you have made a mistake in the game. And Neil Druckmann knows this. You made a giant, massive mistake. And now you're carrying it into the damn TV show. And the normies are going, dude, I don't want to do this. I don't want to participate. This sucks. Like, it's just, and they're moving away. 52% drop is massive.
Yes, it is. It is, especially because I'm curious to see the percentage of those who don't play the game versus the ones that do. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get that, but 52% drop on a season finale. On a season finale out of everything. That usually is the episode that people usually will skip maybe 1 or 2 in the between, like there will be a drop, but usually the season finale brings it right back up. And man, oh man. I wanted to bring up this comment. Ellie stabs a German Shepherd dog in the game, which plays the part of guilting the character later. And co-writer Craig Marzin kept it out not to become misery porn. Yeah, but she fucking like lets a child die. Like, it's just what's up, Zax? What's up? You're just fishing around, my
also,
friend.
that's not how it's not how a bullet works, and that really bothered the fuck out of me because, quite frankly,
with the
right here, literally center of the throat, your spine, one of the largest set of bones in the human body, and it hit the girl in the side of her throat to where she bled out. I'm like, okay.
I guess like they're trying to say it was hitting her like her carotid artery or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
When that scene was happening while I was watching it, that was the moment I tweeted to the group saying, fuck this show.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this show. This show is probably one of the worst fucking, like, oh my God, I would rather watch Dexter's season, the first one, season finale, series finale, before ever fucking watching this again. But again, we'll probably be back for season 3. I looked it up. You have 4 minutes till the mom stops breathing to get the baby out. So they could have gotten the baby out. And even when Tommy showed up, they still had a moment. They could have probably tried to get the baby out, and they chose to. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to say, Tommy would have been the best one to actually get it out at the last fucking second.
Yeah.
And no.
Nope.
Yeah, he's had so much training plus his military background. It's like if anybody, plus he's been living in this Jackson for the past 10 fucking 15 years. Like,
fucking show. All right, I don't even want to bring it up, to be honest, because fuck it.
Well, let's get through it.
Yeah. So the last, it's called
Convergence.
Convergence. I don't speak English. We all know this. Convergence. Amid the battle between Seattle's warring factions, Ellie's search draws her towards a devastating confrontation. Yeah, I bet it does. Okay, so the opening scene, we have Dina and Jesse. You know what? I'll bring it up. Fucking. We all like visuals, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, this whole scene, I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what Ryan, everybody's this dialogue coming up. I'm like, so much dialogue.
Dialogue and just like, man, I just want to know, in the writer's room, who the fuck thought this was a great idea to speed run the first season, which we all agree season 1 could have been 2 seasons.
Absolutely.
I'm like, Dina, I'm gonna have some alcohol.
Bro, I wish I had. You know what? I have my tequila. Never mind.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I'm not
when we get to, I'm yelling at the screen like, do you know how? Okay.
Yep. Wait, are you all assuming you know more about firearms than Neil Cuckman? Yes, we do. I'm sorry.
I didn't.
Stuck out.
I really wish I didn't.
I just, these shows make me think I could be a writer, and I'm a shit. You know how I speak English. I could be a fucking writer, man.
These shows make you think most second graders could be a fucking writer.
Yeah. All right. The episode begins at the Pinnacle Theater in Seattle, picking up after the events of episode 5, where Ellie tortures Nora, and episode 6 of the flashbacks of Joel and Ellie. Jesse, my Korean beefcake, R.I.P. my friend.
He's handsome.
Tends to Dina's severed leg injury caused by the Seraphites crossbow bolt from the last episode. He pushes the arrow through her leg to avoid damaging the artery, and a brutal procedure highlighting the physical toll of their journey. Fuck, I don't know why I write them. Dina refuses alcohol for pain relief, but that's hinting that she's pregnant. She hasn't told him, which Jesse notices and addresses later with Ellie. This moment establishes the group's vulnerability and sets up Dina's pregnancy as a critical emotional anchor.
Yeah.
Jesse, you could do better, my friend. That's all I got to say. You could do better.
I mean, not anymore. You can't.
I know.
Unfortunately.
I screamed at the TV. I was like,
yeah. It was one of those things, too, that quite frankly, and again, 5'2" Abby standing on the other side of the door.
What
a shot right there. Right there in the cheekbone. I mean, it wouldn't actually necessarily, if you did get shot right here, it would shatter your cheekbone and it would actually travel through out the back, but you'd still be alive. But I mean, the bullet physics in this are just astronomically retarded. So
I can see Abby actually making a shot. Whether the shot is correct or not, or how the bullet works, that's the effects and all that bullshit that somebody's not doing their job. But I can actually
Yeah.
see her doing the shot because of two things. One, she's been trained all her life in a military aspect, so she's probably a good shot. And 9 out of 10 times, women are better. I mean, women are better at long distance rifle in competitions more than likely than men. So they're usually better shots.
Is that an actual stat? Because I don't think I agree with that, because I was actually in the army, and that doesn't actually sound
Women
right.
usually are better at long distance rifle competitions than men are. Usually.
Hey, look, I'm not knocking that. Look,
No,
I'm not being that guy.
Yeah, no, you're good. My husband's big into 2A. He's always been pushing me to do these kind of competitions and stuff. But so I can understand her like actually making the shot and making contact. However, you're right. Hitting him there, even then, like part of his brain would be on the floor through the back. She actually did go, if the bullet went and I know
if it went up,
yeah.
The thing is, though, is that the angle it actually hits. So basically, once the bullet actually hits your bones, it actually starts to fragment, and it's going to actually fragment out the side. So you're going to be like literally, but you're not. It doesn't look like you would actually be dead. You're going to bleed out really fast. I mean, I'm talking about fast, because literally you have arteries and veins in here that are going to push blood out. So, but it just didn't. I'm nitpicking on this one, but I'm also nitpicking because of the fact that, like, when you get shot through the throat and right where he did, you're going to hit the spine. It would never have hit the mom ever, not even close.
Yeah,
it would have fragmented his spinal column, and maybe a couple of shards would have hit the floor. So that's why I'm nitpicking this.
No, you're correct, which I don't understand what they're doing, because they are trying to make this as realistic as possible. This is post-apocalyptic, right? This is a disease caused by the mushrooms or whatever, and they're trying to make this realistic. Okay, that's not how guns work in the real world. So why not take the time to actually do the research? Star Wars purist, don't watch this show. Watch our show on it, because don't waste your time, my friend. I'm telling you. Season 1's great. Season 2 is not common. I am so sorry. Toxic is not here tonight with us. He has a job, so you'll have to disagree with somebody else.
He is in the chat, though. I've seen like 1 or 2 chats.
He is, but he's, I think, surveilling or something. He's finishing up some stuff. So
he's doing secret stuff.
He's doing Secret Service stuff. Secret stuff. So Ellie returns and confesses to Dina also in the beginning here. She returns and confesses about torturing and killing Nora at the Lake Hill Hospital. Dina tends to Ellie's wounds, which I thought was a very cringy, weird moment.
Oh, it's very weird.
Like, really weird, with pulling her shirt off and her back. And I'm like, girl, even in the post-apocalyptic, they don't have bras? Like, I guess itty bitty titty committee, like, you can just wear a t-shirt. I get it. I wish I could. That'd be great. In the post-apocalyptic, I'd be slapped with my own.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that's quite frankly, she has scrapes on her back as if I fell down a hill.
Or she probably had to crawl out of the basement area of the hospital. It's probably why she has.
I mean, I do get it. It's just so nonsensical. Is somebody, again, who's pregnant and had a crossbow bolt through their thigh, close to an actual artery where you could bleed out and die, and it's like, let me take care of you. And it's like, if I was in Ellie's place, and I'd be like, no, what are you talking about? Like, lay the fuck down. What are you doing? I'll pour shit on my back. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was very offended because when she tells her boyfriend there, hey, like, I don't need alcohol. Why? Because just I can't have alcohol. Have a shot of whiskey. Okay, sweetheart. 1 shot of whiskey for pain, numbing your pain. It's not the fucking morning after pill. Okay, just because you have 1 shot of whiskey, it's not going to kill the fucking baby.
Yeah.
Like, it's such shitty dialogue. Come on.
It is shitty dialogue, and I agree, but it's also post-apocalyptic world, so these kids only grew up knowing what they know, so probably grew up knowing like when you get pregnant you don't eat raw fish and don't drink alcohol, don't do all that shit. So like it's not our world setting, right? Where
But I still feel like
not
even,
that I condone
even
it,
common sense though. It's like this girl's been drinking her whole life. I mean, the friggin' Dina drinks more than I do, according to fucking Jesse. And like, okay, I can't have one shot of whiskey as you're putting a crossbow through my thigh because I'm pregnant. Again, sweetheart, that one shot's not going to kill the kid. Considering.
yeah.
Also, at the same time, Frost, I'm Frost fan. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. That crap on the water is so nonsensical. That cinematography and production is just crap.
But that's the crap on the water. If you watch the behind the scenes, that they actually built like a tub thing where they put a boat and similar to kind of things they used to do for like Titanic and such. So smaller scale, obviously not as big as
I get the smaller scale, but it just it didn't look good. And I quite frankly, Titanic did it better in 1997. So
well,
but again, and that's not a shot at that's not a shot at Frost's opinion. I'm just saying it did not look good. The water crap was like, I'm like, what are we doing here?
Very bad CGI.
Patia's mom clearly drinking. Look, you're the reason why I don't have the chat up on the screen.
How do you do that, by the way, on StreamYard? That's a thing now? Like you can put the chat up like little
on the top of your comments, there's a little thing you can turn on and it says show comments on stage and such.
Okay.
So yeah.
Also, shout out to everybody who's watching and commenting. Thank you for being here. Because
43
you guys
people
make this more fun than the show.
Across X and YouTube, and then I don't know Rumble's statistics, but
yeah,
we are also over at Rumble. I don't know if anybody actually watches Rumble show, but if you're watching over at Rumble,
man, it doesn't hurt. It's free.
Yeah. So this is also where Abby confesses to the truth about Salt Lake. Joel killed Abby's father to save her from being sacrificed for a potential cure. This confession kind of deepens the rift between Ellie and Dina grapples with the moral complexity of Abby's revenge and Ellie's actions. It makes a turning point in Ellie's self-awareness as she confronts her loss of innocence and moral decay. In this scene, yes, but it doesn't carry on. She doesn't fucking learn her lesson. They should fucking go home. Go home, Ellie. Go home. Like, go home and protect your home. Bro, you're like, So, yes.
Yeah, it's just trying to show Ellie more being sadistic because she's talking about Nora. Like, yeah, I heard her. I kept hurting her, and it was easy. I was enjoying it. Like, it's supposed to be, I guess, the more deeper meaning of like the whole cycle of violence repeating itself. But at this point, I'm like, you know what the whole saying is? In for a penny, in for a pound.
Hook. Jesus.
Can we literally just take a look at this shot right here? You have somebody who's actually ready to fight, and then you have.
What are you talking about? She's got dual pistols at her hips.
Yeah, that's so a thing.
And I mean, I know Ryan would know, but just the way he's holding that gun, walking, it seems like a guy who's been military trained.
Oh, absolutely. Look, because again, he's got his fingers the right way. So again, somebody on set who is, I don't know, the prop expert or whatever, he has been trained to hold that gun in the proper way. And then you have
the armor.
Yeah, and then you have Bella Ramsey, who has dual pistols, and that's just the stupidest crap in the history of the world. You don't
comment. Sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
You guys are naughty in the chat tonight.
I agree with Frost. Yeah, Jess was he was demoralized and then taken out. Yeah, it's so stupid. I hated that.
I'm not reading these out loud.
Well, that's why I said demoralized instead of the C-U-C-K-E-D.
Fucking no way.
It's not my channel. I'm not going to say that. I mean, if it was my channel, I'd say it.
Oh, see, like even my own review too is Bella Ramsey. Who wrote Ellie's dialogue? Where
she's dead. She's Extra chromosome Laura Croft.
Just Cook spicy tonight. Cook, get it all out tonight, man, because we're not back next week. This is it. This is it till season 3.
Well, so much whenever Ellie talks, I mean, I joke about it, but like she's got to say at least 60 fucks every episode. Like every time she talks, every second word is fuck. I've never seen one actress like who, even in the game, like holy shit, Ellie does not sweat. We're all adults here. We all say fuck once in a while, but like she cannot go a scene without dropping at least 2 F-bombs. Like,
Blue.
damn.
Do you not watch my streams? I drop the F-bomb every fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's still tame compared to fucking Ellie. Like, I mean, we all do it, but like seriously, every single scene she's got to be saying fuck this or fuck that. Like to the point where I'm like, look, have some better dialogue.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the maturity of Jesse, and frankly, she doesn't even have the maturity of Dina. And Dina's not that mature after her, to be honest. Dina should have been the one to talk her out of going on this, but she doesn't have, because she doesn't have anything to lose. She thinks she's immune. So she hasn't had, Joel is the only thing that's ever happened to her that has impact to her enough to do this. But like, for fuck's sake, she like, for fuck's sake, she.
No, I'm not against saying a word. We all
I know. But she like, she does, you know, if she gets bit, oh, no big deal, right? You know what needs to happen? One of these fucking things need to take an arm off. Maybe that'll teach her a lesson.
Yeah.
That this world is dangerous, that there are consequences to her actions. And yes, it fucking sucks that Joel died. It does. Her father figure, I get it. It's horrible. But she also has a community that depended on her, that she was rifling to be the one on patrol, that she left. That there are now 4 less people who are competent people who are always on patrol protecting Jackson because of her ass.
Yeah.
So,
no, 100% Frost Fang. That's what I mean. Everybody swears, but just go through this entire season. I mean, I guarantee somebody on YouTube with more free time than me will make an F-bomb counter, and it's got to be some kind of record. I've never seen any actress or character say that word that many times in one season. It's just astounding. Where out of all the dialogue, guys, again, well, we all say fuck here, but like, damn, I'm counting at least 50 times per episode, at least.
Yeah, and well, because she has 0 depth. She has 0 acting ability, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this as an actual personal attack on the actress. You can't act. You're awful. But the only thing that gets you to emote.
I can't agree with you on that, Ryan. I mean, her only other speaking role is Game of Thrones, and everybody loved her in that. Like, we haven't seen a role that maybe is made for her. This is not a role made for her. I would agree with that. She's not meant to be Ellie.
I mean, then I got to call a spade a spade. Like, just because you had one job that everybody loved you in, and you had like 5 lines, and then you get another job and you're awful, it doesn't mean you're good at that job. And again, look, I love Game of Thrones. I do. And I think she actually is really good and in Game of Thrones. And again, I think it was last episode, I actually defended her actual acting. But normal Ellie, who's not like drunk or drugged or whatever and like reminiscing, she's just not good. She just plays angry woman who swears. That's it. And that's not a character. It's a caricature.
Yeah. I would
And
agree to that.
there's more to women than just like going, I don't fucking understand. Fuck this, fuck that. Like,
yeah, it's like she feels less like Ellie and more like a GTA character.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because they told her not to play the game, which I'm like, maybe that would have helped her understand where the character is coming from instead of the dialogue. She's also British, and I don't know if her American accent is that well, to be honest, if coming through, but
I can't really notice it, but
I did not know she was British. I really didn't.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
Now, Ellie and Jesse head out to find Tommy, who's missing, intending to regroup and leave Seattle. Their dynamic is strained. So Jesse disapproves of Ellie's reckless pursuit of revenge. To be honest, I do too. While Ellie bristles at his judgment, their conversation highlights their contrast values. Jesse prioritizes the group's safety and the greater good, while Ellie is consumed with her vendetta. A notable moment is on a rooftop where Jesse shares a story about a past love, showing his selfishness. This brief moment of hope is shattered later, underscoring the fragility of their bond. So, yeah.
Also, Jesse says, just like Dina, I can't die. I can't die, Ellie. I'm not to be a father. I'm not going to die. I can't die. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I actually really liked that line that came out of him. He was
too.
like, I can't die. I'm going to be, I got to get my kid out of here. It's like, and then.
All right. He can't die. Remember that.
And then Ellie's face of like going, wait a second. I thought I was going to be like, no, like you could literally see her face of like, because again, that stupid line 2 episodes ago. And it's just like, he's right. He's the father. He has a baby. You don't. I don't care if you want to les out all you want. Hey, go nuts. Hey, you do you. You're not a co-parent. You weren't there when it was made. You don't have property over that kid. You got nothing. You're common crap on the side, and you have 0 decisions. And he's dead now. And I think that was one way they literally had to do that. It just felt like they were doing it to be jerks. And I'm talking about Neil Druckmann. You just did it to be a jerk.
I'm just, to be honest, I listened to you, Ryan. I completely agree with you on it. I thought it was a weird dialogue choice where they basically showed that Jesse doesn't care for Dina in a romantic sense to kind of allow the Dina and Ellie thing to make sense. But he's willing to stand up to be a father, which is great. But like, again, that just, it doesn't make sense, the dynamic there.
Dina was just
I'm laughing because Common and Hook are, it's the Common and Hook show tonight. As I'm watching the chat, these two, they're just like back and forth. And I didn't know a 42-year-old man auditioned for Hermione.
It wouldn't surprise me at this point, would it?
It wouldn't. I also would say this scene too. There's 2 big important things that come up in the Jesse Ellie adventure. One, they watch a bunch of wolf soldiers torture and eventually kill a Seraphite teenager, young adult.
Yeah, so it's still a child though.
Yeah.
I would say he was roughly around the same age as them. That's where it got really weird. And they stripped him half naked, by the way.
Yep. Yeah. And
Why?
then Ellie wanted to go save him, where Jesse's like, no, we've got to get Tommy. We have an injured Dina, his head's thinking, I've got a pregnant Dina who's injured, who can't walk back. I got to find Tommy. No offense, we've got to save our group before we can save anybody else. Basically, you got to put your oxygen mask on before you can put someone else's on.
Yeah.
Where it shows like Ellie, again, doesn't have that maturity. She just wants to rush in on everything. Then it could potentially have gotten them killed on top of it.
It's right there at the 19-minute mark and 30 seconds after the WLF leaves. And Jess grabs her, Ellie, she's like, yo, she says, get the fuck off me. He's like, what do you think is going to happen? It's 2-on-6. He's a fucking kid. Within a spin, again, 10 seconds, you drop 2 all her dialogue. It's I thought this scene was really good, only in a sense because showing Jesse as he's trying to impart, okay, this is a kid, metaphorically, they're going to kill him. Well, we had to stop it. Sweetheart, it's 2-on-6, and as badass and as a tank, first off, he just saved you from almost dying. It's 2-on-6. You're not John Wick.
Yeah. The other scene that's important during this little adventure is they eventually figure out where Tommy is, and they have to go, in a sense, save Tommy, because they hear over the radio Wolf also knows Tommy's location. They're sending backup. This is also the time that Ellie realizes when she was torturing Nora, she kept saying whale, actually meant wheel, which was the Ferris wheel on the pier. So Ellie decided, instead of going to go help Tommy, and I hate the bullshit line of, well, he would want me to go. He would understand. No, he wouldn't. Not in this scenario. No offense. Tommy's got a little bit more brain cells than that. And she decides to she's just like, no, fuck Tommy. My revenge is way more important on this.
Which also the scene too later on plays out, because when she's arguing with Jesse, he says where he's like, look, this isn't our war, which he's right. It's like, okay, like, because this is complication of the situation, the Seraphites and WLF, they're both wrong because that's they're about to kill a kid. Well, guess what? Both sides have killed kids. Is this some kind of like modern day allegory for stuff going on right now? But Jesse says it's not our war, it's not our fight. We're not here for this because both sides are wrong in this conflict.
Yeah. I'm just.
It wouldn't surprise me if Druckmann was trying to do some political statement about, current modern day stuff, how two opposing sides, children keep getting killed on both sides, almost like in the game, in a TV show.
Well, Neil Druckmann has doubled and tripled down now because, again, I was like, all right, we all know where this goes, right? I was like, do it, dude. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would do it again. I've said this. I didn't think they would do it until like the third season. The end of the third season to give you enough of like the show of Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal is actually a draw. Bella Ramsey is like, you're like, who?
Yeah.
Who is that? And it's like, oh, that girl from Game of Thrones, like the little one. She was like, and they're like, I don't know who that is. And nobody knows who that is.
Yep, except for the one thing she did for 5 minutes.
Well, no,
everybody
a lot
knows
of people do know who she is now because of the ulterior motives that John brought up in his little tweet that people have been online talking about. Again, I think people need to realize this show has a lot of problems, and it's not just Bella Ramsey's casting.
Oh,
it
no,
is
it's not.
Writing of the show. The writing and pacing of it is just awful. Like, this is just there's nothing entertaining. There's nothing like capturing. There's no emotional impact in this show. To be honest, I don't even think Joel's death in the show like this in episode 2 was that impactful because of how bad the writing has been this season. And it's such a downgrade from season 1. Season 1 actually had a decent foundation.
I would say it was only impactful, like I said, like for more say normally, even Mom's a crush. She's like, oh, like, yeah, like they killed Pedro Pascal. I didn't see that coming, but my mother, because she would never play the PlayStation game, she was at least shocked by it. She's like, I can't believe they killed him in episode 2. So it is still shocking for people that aren't familiar. Someone like you, Nadi, you already known about it, but. And that's why the ratings were still high in episode 3 because people want to see the aftermath of that. But since episode 3, it's been going down every single week because people tried saying on Twitter, "Oh, see, the ratings are still pretty high for episode 3," because they're like, "What the fuck's going to happen next?" And now since episode 3, it's been like, "Damn, it's getting shittier and shittier and shittier," and the ratings are showing that.
Well, and the reason the game was so shocking is because, again, Abby was a giant trans allegory. She was the size of I don't know, a 5'11" bodybuilder, and Caitlin Deaver is not in the show. Yes, she hits Joel a couple of times with the club.
Yep, and
she breaks it, and then that's really stupid. But anyway, she finally stabs him in the neck, and that's how he dies. That makes more sense in an actual real world scenario. In the game, Abby beats his skull in over and over and over and over. And I keep saying over because over and over again, that's how they did it. Yeah. And this is Neil Druckmann's swan song, in his opinion, because he thought this is the bestest game ever. He is the final say of this television show in the writing. His dirty little fucking hands are all over it, and he is captured by Anita Sarkeesian, who is a giant feminist in the worst way. This show is doomed.
It is. I would be very curious to see if HBO does continue with the Greenlight third season, and if they do, they're probably going to downscale it. Unless they already filmed it, unless they have or started. I do not see HBO putting the money into this like they did for the first 2 seasons.
I mean, even at half the viewers, it's still considered. I mean, it's still a highly rated show. Like even like I said, Walking Dead obviously went down, but Walking Dead at the peak was 10 million. Even half of 10 million is still 5 million, and that's what I'm saying. With Last of Us 2, yes, it's going on 50%, but 50% is still, compared to a lot of TV shows, a very high number. So I could see it still going for a third season. A fourth, no fucking way.
No,
they might go for a third season, but they're gonna. I would put money they're gonna scale it back the budget. Same thing happened to Walking Dead season 1. While season 1 is really good, didn't capture audiences as it is now. That's why season 2 takes place at the farm, and that's it. Like, there's no set different locations, very minimal on the makeup and the zombie effects. It's mostly and a lot of people find season 2 to be very boring because it's just a lot of like monologues and dialogue between characters instead of actually action. But the reason was they're like, hey, season 1 didn't do that very well. We really want to continue this. Season 2, they scaled back the budget.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to scale back the budget on this.
Well, and that's become a thing with how Walking Dead said, diehard fans finished the entire show. Like, some people would say, okay, after Glenn died of season 4 or 5, I dipped out. Yes, the core audience did, but they still had high enough ratings to garnish 10 seasons. Same with Supernatural. Supernatural, yes, no doubt the ratings did go down from previous seasons, but the thing is, seasons 5 through 15, it was consistent like 3 million, and 3 million for a show like that was still steady enough to keep it going for 10 more fucking seasons, because they had a very loyal built-in fan base. So Walking Dead, a lot of people say, oh, I quit that show. You did, but he still had a steady 4 or 5 million people, which is pretty good. Not 10 million, but 4 is still a high number.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to change the storyline for season 3. I think initially what they said, we were going to just follow Abby for season 3, and then they needed a season 4 to kind of tie things up. I think with such a drop in the finale and such, what they're going to go to Neil and be like, listen, you can have your Abby story for the first 2 or 3 episodes, but this complete story has to conclude in season 3. There will not be a season 4. So maybe similar to what Frost is saying, where they'll film them back to back, but I really don't think a 4th season is going to exist on this. And it also depends, how long of a wait time are we going to have between this season and next? Is it
probably a year and a half.
Yeah. Why? Like,
well,
this is a discussion on Zach's last. Go ahead, Ryan.
Because HBO is notorious for this, a year and a half, and it started with Game of Thrones season 8, and you have House of the Dragon, season 2 to season 3, year and a half. Why?
It makes no sense.
Makes zero sense. And it makes zero sense with House of the Dragon. But this show, I actually agree with Frost. Frostfang. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit. I'm gonna say that season 3 is going to be half a season, and season 4 is the other half of what would have been a legitimate season 3. And I think okay. So we've done this a couple of times. I think we did this last week. Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, no. So it just. And look, Neil Druckmann can throw a fit all he wants. Yes, he owns the rights, and he is the head of Naughty Dog, and he owns the rights to The Last of Us. If HBO doesn't want to make it, they're not contractually obligated to make shit. So go ahead, Neil, throw a fit. I don't think
season 3 has already got a very severe because season 3 has already been greenlit. Season 3 was greenlit before season 2 even premiered. So I don't know if. I really think they're gonna just combine the whatever. Just wrap it up, dude. Just wrap it up.
Probably.
Yeah. It just, and again, when I was on Zach's last, we were talking about this. I understand a lot more goes into these 8-9 episode seasons that we are getting now that is considered TV, no longer the 22 season episodes that come out in fall and spring.
I hate that.
However,
by the way,
they usually finish filming within 3 to 6 months. Post-production is not going to take that long, maybe an additional 3 months. So there should only be a year turnaround. This whole bullshit of 2-year turnarounds, or granted, Stranger Things is a different story because of we had the COVID and everything that happened with that, and the writer strike and all that stuff. But like, I'm tired of waiting 2 years for a TV series. At that point, why care?
I was just gonna say, look at the best example, the most recent example, the Fallout television show from Amazon. We're gonna get it literally the second season a year later as the debut of the first one.
True.
And because Amazon, hold up, wait a minute now, like, let's turn this thing around, let's get it out here. And so we're getting that in December of 2025. HBO has not learned their lesson since Game of Thrones season 8, and that ended in 2016, 2017. When was it? I can't even.
I think it was 2017.
2017. They haven't learned their
Mhm.
lesson since 2017, and they had the biggest hit show since then of House of the Dragon season 1 was massively huge,
Yeah.
and it still took a year and a half for season 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, fine. Like, look, your guys were stuck on old models. That's fine. Pick it up, guys, for season 3. Pick it up. They didn't.
Sidebar for that. How y'all feel that you're never gonna get the completion of Game of the books?
Oh,
Grandma was like, "Fuck it, I don't want to work on this shit."
It's been what, 7.5 years since Wins a Winner.
That's why I've never picked up the books. That's why I've never.
Yeah, I never started with the books. But
like, it doesn't. Anyway, okay, back to this. All right, let's get back.
No, real quick. I think that the reason that that he's never finished the books is because that's the way it was supposed to end in the show, as in the books, and he went, "Oh, nobody liked that, so I don't know what to do."
That seems to be what Open Bar talked about that, but yeah, the past 5 years, everyone's like, because he was very heavily involved with the last 2 seasons, as much as he's very heavily involved with House of the Dragon, and so everyone's like, HBO, we're pretty sure he gave them his cliff notes. Hey guys, in case I die, this is how the show's gonna end. Then they follow his cliff notes and like, oh man, I fucked up.
Everybody fucking hated it, and also, from what I understand, he's no longer a part of House of the Dragon too. So,
well, no offense, House of the Dragon season 2 was a piece of shit. Season 1 was great. I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
season 2,
agree.
I had a panel, we covered it, and each week, first episode, we're like, okay. Second, it'll get better.
Yeah,
it'll get better every week. Every week. It was more of a debate.
I had to give credit to Naughty. We talked about at least the dragon CGI was fantastic.
The dragon CGI, but I didn't get any fucking battle. The whole
I'm just saying.
Not one fucking battle. Yeah. No, I got dead bodies on a battlefield. Yeah. So you filmed it, but I didn't get a battle.
That's why it's such a.
Let's watch two lesbians. I just give me. You know what? It's all right. You know what? If I ever become.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm with you. And when season 3 comes out, if you want to do a panel, I'm there. I used to do it on Monday nights, but it's been so long. I don't know if I'll be able to get the group back together to actually cover it, because it's like it's been so long, and everybody's like, eh.
Lesbian scenes aren't so costly. I understand Hook. All right. But I'm like, give me what Game of Thrones is. It's battles, dragons, political back and forth. What's up, Jamie? And it's boobs. But heaven forbid, we got a lot of peen this past season. If my husband ever decides to come back to Inside All Day, I would do a coverage on it. But since he's on the fence right now, he's like, maybe I'll come back to stream. We could talk about pop culture stuff. I'm like, maybe you should, but we'll see. I thought this scene was very weird. The whole, you're not the first old man to be in love with a.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
This is just saying, like, why is Abby so important? Abby's the bestest ever. That's all I got in this. Yeah, and so it's weird with pacing. I'm looking at this scene. This scene lasts 3 minutes. 3. It feels like 30.
But it bothers me. She's not. Abby is not the bestest ever. I would literally. I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, and that's large for a human being, male human being. Dude, these guys could literally take her the fuck out tomorrow, like if they wanted to. Be like going, oh, Abby, oh no,
she's the chosen one.
Listen, in this world, in the real world, I completely agree. In the fictional world of The Last of Us, Abby is the best. It is, and from my understanding, even in the game, she is brought up to be the best. I understand in the game she looks a little bit more mannish, but I mean she's meant to be in a sense like a fucking Black Widow in the show, right? She's meant to be like a super soldier kind of deal. So I'm 3'8" and I could take her. Hook, Jesus. Did you not get a job on Snow White, Hook? Is that why you're here in my chats? If I ever become a big YouTuber, I will write my own fucking show and produce it.
Hey.
I will follow Drinker's route, and I will.
Some people are doing it though. It's more independents are doing this stuff, and what we said in the independent community this year. The problem is people don't talk about stuff. So some of the best films I've seen, nobody's talking about. Which are bitching about Snow White and bitching about whatever the news and not and or and freaking Acolyte.
You're bitching
like
about
that.
everything. Everybody's bitching about everything.
Even like I cover pop culture stuff. Like I'm doing it right now with you guys, right? Because it's fun. It's a panel show, but I don't cover it on my own channel anymore because I don't care. I'd rather play video games and have fun.
That's why I have a horror channel. Not only because I
Yeah.
have a special effects background, it's because the horror genre leans a little bit more on the indie side. So it's not as studio interference. Like obviously there are big budget studio films that come out every year that are horror related, like Sinners, Companion, Hard Eyes. But like you get stuff like Bring Her Back, which I'm going to see Sunday. That, by the way, there's a super chat goal, guys. Bring Her Back. I'm going to see Sunday. That was done by 2 YouTubers who did Talk to Me, who are YouTubers who did this. So like that's why I like that genre a little bit more, because horror can be kind of anything. It can be political, it can be a social commentary, it could be anything, and you can find any, or it could just be a gore fest. But you guys over in Marvel and Disney World, I pray for you every night.
Well, what's funny is that I was actually watching a show with my dad was like, hey, there's this show that I want to watch. It's about cars, and it's a little bit of a teenage drama, but it's got cars. And I was like, all right, you sold me on cars, right? So we watched it, and I was like, all right, I get a little bit of this CW vibes. I get that. I love Smallville and all that kind of stuff, but the cars and stuff were fun. And then all of a sudden there's this one scene where like the whole town goes dark, right? They purposely turn the lights off. And I was like going, and now the purge. And my dad starts laughing. He's like, yes. And it's like, it's so hard to screw up a horror movie. So hard. I don't
know you can screw up a horror movie.
I mean, you can, yes, but it's
Companion is one of them.
I'm not a horror genre fan. I don't like them. It gives me anxiety and all that kind of stuff. But I was in the military. That's another story. But horror movies are just good old fashioned classic fun for the most part, and they suffer from a almost minimal of this crap that The Last of Us 2.
Actually, the horror genre nowadays have become very progressive in storytelling. Like there are, like it is very much so has the vibes of like the political movements of like Last of Us in horror. However, it is not like Last of Us is a big show. It's one show, where the horror genre is an umbrella and has multiple subgenres of it. So like if you don't want to watch something that has like social commentary or political undertones, you can find something in that genre that does. Where you guys are kind of fucked over at Disney, like with Marvel. At least, and granted, I saw Mission Impossible over the weekend. I liked it. I thought it was fun. Yeah. I didn't think it was the best one.
I agree.
To me, is still the worst.
I enjoyed the experience of watching me. My kid liked it too.
And when Tom Cruise came on the screen and thanked me, I went, "You're welcome. You're welcome, Tom Cruise." All right, let's get going.
Yeah.
Nadia's like, jump forward.
Next scene.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to jump forward to.
She picks out a book.
Yeah, she picks out a book.
Yeah. And also, he tells that I love her, but not the way you love her. You love her more than me. I was just
yeah.
I just donated my kid.
So she decides to go confront Abby with this water scene. And she almost gets hung up herself by the Seraphites. The Seraphites capture her. And she is so lucky.
Yeah, her surviving that wave is bullshit, but okay, we'll go with that. And yeah, this entire sequence with the Seraphites.
Oh yeah. No, that really bothered the holy mother out of me, because the boat washed up on shore and she washed up within 20 feet of it on shore. I was like,
yeah, sure.
No, not even close. But I'm not going to nitpick.
I think the only thing that was funny is the kid did a freaking communist, like.
I know, right?
It's like, please save me. He's just like, it's like, you little bastard. But that's what. But there's no tension because we know she's got plot armor. Because it's like these extra.
Got to make it to the end.
All these extra scenes right here.
Giant plot armor.
Yeah,
like they string her up, and a dude it's on a pulley system, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So Bella Ramsey probably weighs, I don't know, 120 pounds soaking wet. It's on a pulley system, and dude is like, he's like to pull her up. No, dude, like I'd be like, oh, okay, here we go. Like you could
By the way-
pull that. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh no, I'm just saying you. We're on this one. So we're not technically there. That.
Oh no, I was just fast forwarding a little bit.
What's yeah, they were distracted by the bombing going on. So obviously it's the big WLF versus the Seraphites.
Which would have been a better story for this season. If they really wanted to expand on it, to be honest, they should have just expanded on the wolf versus the Seraphites the whole time. God, Hook, I put you on the screen.
A couple scenes, especially while the upcoming shot took a still after she gets shot at, the face she makes as she shoots back at him, at Owen. Like, I'm like, oh God. It's like,
well, interesting that this entire episode has no zombies, no clickers,
no, zero.
At a budget.
Zero.
And they make a lot of fucking noise.
Well, because we saw that the zombies these guys blew their load in episode 2 when they had the big battle sequence. That's the only battle sequence we get the entire season.
Well, and my thing is, this stuff is airborne too. On top of it, she didn't even tell Dina that it was airborne.
Yeah, details and all.
You would think that would be important to tell the people that like deal with these monsters all the time. Like, hey, by the way, I found out this shit can be airborne.
Yeah.
Well, and then they're walking through the streets, and you see the trees and the broken down cars and the cop car and the 90s Honda Civic. Yeah, I'm a car guy. And I'm just like, where are all the monsters? Right? It's Seattle. It has millions of people. Well, they all do. They'll fall into the ocean, right? No, they didn't fall in the ocean. Like where? There's nothing, not in the buildings, not around the cars, not like, just like half frozen. It would make more sense to be like, for a few of them to be at least in the streets, half frozen, kind of like,
yeah.
If she walks by and
I guess you could maybe headcanon the fact that the WLF is such a military force that they've already cleaned this entire area. That's maybe.
Maybe
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to give them some.
Also,
you're
near water. I don't know how this thing, like, do they swim?
The affected now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of like isolated a little bit. So common, Jesus. So this is the pinnacle of the season finale where Abby holds
Owen.
Sorry, not Ellie holds Owen and Mel by gunpoint.
Yeah,
because she wants to find out where Abby is because she overhears them talking about Abby, and she said, "I'll let you live," and doesn't let them live.
Now it's one small callback, which I'm not sure. I'm sure Ryan would have caught it, but it's a callback to season 1 because when Joel says the same thing, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna have your brother point on the map," and then he's like, "Then I want you to point on the map, then have your friend point on the map. If it's different locations, I'm killing you both." And Ellie says exact same things. Ellie's like, "I'm gonna have Mel do it, also Owen do it. If the positions are different, I'm shooting both of you." So she got that from Joel. But the thing is, she wasn't in the room when Joel said that.
She ends up shooting Owen through the chest, like through the neck, like up here. Sorry,
yeah, the trachea, and right behind that is where is his spinal cord. Which your spinal cord is that big. It's huge. It supports the whole entire human body, and the bullet doesn't fragment. It's just like
I did want to ask you, Ryan. Is because she's got Joel's 6-shooter? Is the caliber that powerful on a 6?
No.
Okay.
No. Like you literally have to have. Okay. So this is the best way to put it, right? Everybody hates the AR-15 because it's a big scary gun. It's a 5.56. It's 223. Basically, it's a glorified varmint round. Yes, the caliber of the gun that she has is bigger. It's probably a 357, in my opinion. Does not look like a 44 Magnum, which would blow a giant chunk out of literally your side. So 357, it's still going to fragment because if rounds are scarce, it's going to be a jacketed round, not a hollow point or anything like that. It's a 44 or something near. No, that's not a 44, dude. There's no way. There's no way it's a 44. 44 is like Dirty Harry size gun. Sorry, man. You got 357 max. Anyway, long story short, even a jacketed round all rounds are actually meant to splinter in the human body. It hits something, it starts to fragment, and it bounces around, and it literally can. I've actually seen a case where somebody was shot, literally shot in the head, and it wound up and bounced out the chest. I'm not joking. That's an actual wound because the way the round bounces around and it fragments. So I'm being very technical, and it's probably nobody cares, but for his wife to be killed too is nonsensical. Now, I think there's a bigger thing at play here. Your wife is pregnant. Why will you grab a gun? She already said, I'm not going to kill you. Do you have any evidence to the contrary that she's going to kill you?
Unless they already know about Nora. Unless they already know that she killed Nora.
Which right now, I figured they didn't because they've been stuck in this island. So they're using it back to them yet.
And to be honest, I don't blame him for going for his gun, even with his pregnant girlfriend, wife, whatever behind him, because he really doesn't know if she's going to shoot or not. And she could kill them.
So Ryan, according to Google, it says that The Last of Us in the show Joel, his main handgun is a Taurus Model 66 revolver, which is a 357 Magnum with a 3-inch barrel and rubber grips. Okay,
makes sense. Yeah, because a 44 Magnum is a big round. So that's why I was saying the barrel was not long enough, in my opinion, for it to be a 44. 357 will still relocate half your face. That's all I'm going to say.
She shoots Owen because he reaches for his gun.
Yep.
And they find out that behind Mel gets it in the neck.
Yeah,
right
so
there.
Stupid.
Now,
cuts an artery.
Also, in Rhino's playing the game, in the game, it's different because what Mel does, she grabs a knife and tries to kill Ellie. So Ellie kills her in self-defense. So I guess the show was trying to make this more of putting guilt on Ellie because she accidentally killed a pregnant woman. But in all fairness, in the game, Ellie was trying to save herself because Mel's trying to stab her to death.
Is Mel pregnant in the game too?
Yes, yeah. But again, this entire sequence, like cut the baby out of me, never takes place. All this dialogue. It's just, I guess this is showing more of like, I guess Ellie feeling guilty for killing an innocent pregnant woman versus the game. At least you could say that, well, she was defending herself because Mel's got a fucking knife trying to stab her and doesn't work.
And like Rachel said, I don't know if she's still in the chat, it takes 4 minutes from the moment she's dead to get the baby out. So they've had time. They even have time now. She's still alive. She's still breathing. Blood's still pumping.
Cut it.
So they could cut it out, but she chooses not to. And I don't know what Neil's fucking brain was on this, thinking this was maybe this is just devastating and impactful to make Ellie seem like some kind of dark force walking around. But it honestly just pisses me off. It pisses me off. It's out of character.
It's trying to say that Ellie is now becoming just as bad as Joel because she's killing innocent people, and now even killing an innocent baby. That's what the subtext is.
In my opinion, too, it also sets up the fact that we all know how this ends, right? Ellie has the opportunity to do something, and she doesn't. And this is in the game, and this is how the show is going to end. So if we actually get there, you're going to see it. It's trying to set up the fact that Ellie is, because in the game Ellie is not as bad as this, right? She has a little more morals to herself, given a post-apocalyptic, horrible wasteland.
Yeah.
Abby does not. Abby is a absolutely unlikable, horrible bint, and they try to make you like her.
Definitely.
It didn't work in the game. It's not going to work in the show. So guess what? You take one character that the game is based off of that you have, and you have another character that is much more beloved, and you have to drag that character down for the show, because if you don't, then at the end of the show, when a certain thing happens, everybody's gonna go, dude, what the are you fucking serious? And it's gonna be the whole Joel thing over times probably 3.
Yeah. Fucking stupid tattoo. I'm sorry.
It is stupid. No, you're right.
They are not MD's Hook, but she's telling her what to do, and she's not even willing to do it. I'm like, you're willing to go on a revenge tale. You beat. It doesn't make sense. The beginning of this episode, she's describing how she liked the fact that she beat Nora to death, and now you can't make an incision into a belly to save a baby. Like,
she's like, where do I cut? It's like, okay, around the bottom. Cut around the top of the uterus.
Fucking remove everything. Just cut it, pull it open, and pull the kid out. Like,
and
no
even
offense.
no, I'm with you. This scene pissed me the fuck off. And of course, when Tommy shows up and he sees, and he goes,
"Yep,
really, dude, really."
Yeah, didn't even try to attempt to save the child at all, which is completely out of character, I feel, for Tommy, especially the fact that Tommy himself is a father too of a young child. Pulls out the intestines, right? Like, that's what C-sections, like a couple layers, pull out and pull the kid out. Yeah,
that's why moms die from C-sections. They are the most dangerous way to do things.
Yeah,
because the mom could bleed out, because you literally have to go down into the gut through the intestines, and the doctor has to be top notch. So no, this really, it was just a way to drag already a character that we do not care for in the show, not the game, down to a lower level, because it's going somewhere, and we're gonna get there. I'm telling you, we're gonna get there, because Neil Druckmann cannot steer out of the skid. He is so captured, and he has such a giant ego, because he's made millions of dollars, mostly off The Last of Us Part 1 and Uncharted, and he even screwed up the Uncharted franchise.
Yeah, as people said right there, I mean, she just died. She died about 4 seconds before Tommy got there. There was more than enough time to take care of this situation.
Oh, absolutely. Sterilize a knife, like you could have done the whole 9 yards, just to save that child's life.
Yep.
I say sterilize the knife, not for the mom, because she's already dead, right? But for the baby, in case there's, because infection still spreads, right? But the mom is literally
dead.
What women do is magnificent. It's magical. In the same place, a mom could die, and that baby could still live off the mom's body for another 4 minutes, because that body still provides for that child to maybe possibly save the kid.
Yeah.
And after everything Tommy's been through, and did just nothing. I was so angry, and you just demoralized and degraded another beautiful character.
I don't think nobody can see her. Nobody can see you, Tracer. Nobody can see you.
Is that a doggy?
Yeah. I was laughing because she jumped up on the bed that's over here, and she tooted really loud. And I was like, oh, I don't know if they heard that.
Yeah, it's the whole lighting nod. It's like you're petting like a black background.
I know. Hold on. Like, let me see if I can turn this.
Nadia, she finally lost it. Sure, there's a dog there, guys. Yeah, sure.
She's petting up in space. You don't see eyes or a tongue or anything.
You see it?
Oh, I see the eyes now.
Yeah.
No, Treaser.
What kind of dog?
She's a lab.
Yeah.
Mix. You okay?
She looks like a pretty big dog. Pretty big.
About 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's small for a lab.
They're the best CNI dogs. I see a woman every day on the bus. She gets onto the bus and she goes,
"You're a good girl."
You're a good girl.
I love animals way too much.
Okay. You're good. Oh shit. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Okay. Yes. So I was worried that, because I heard it with my headphones on, and I was like, please don't nobody think hello, Andrew Carlson. Higher expectations for season 3?
Yeah.
Absolutely not, my friend. Unfortunately.
I debate it can't get worse.
We will be back for season 3.
It can get worse.
So Tommy grabs her. They head back to the theater.
Yeah.
All is well. They have a little moment in here. Jesse and Ellie, we're going home. They hear a ruckus happening out in the foyer area, like the front of the theater.
Yep.
And they race up there. and they're like, "What's going on?" And oh no, hold
Poor
on.
Tommy,
There
this
we
big veteran. Tommy he didn't easily get dropped by a girl a third of his size. Like,
Mhm.
Granted, maybe she Black Widowed him. Okay.
Yeah, she did something.
All right, I'm just gonna let it play. So they race up to the theater. They hear the ruckus. Look at her running with that gun. That's not how you run with a gun. 50K
No,
views.
but also at
Yeah.
the same time, can I ask again?
Boom!
Where in the
Oh,
blue, where in the
Go
blue
ahead.
fucking hell did you get electricity in the theater? Where?
Shh.
Where? Where? Why are there lights on in the theater?
Maybe
Where?
one of them are electricians. I don't know.
Oh, I'm so tired. It's just it's so
See, this
convenient.
makes it to Tracer.
And like Ryan said, as he's laying there too, the
I will.
shot. The shot is right here over his right cheek.
Yeah,
Right,
and
left
that
cheek.
and again, I gotta go
Right.
with the okay.
Oh,
he
and
got
she's got a handgun too.
yes, she has a
It-
Glock.
It's I mean, I'm not a gun expert, but if she had a fucking big massive sniper rifle from a distance, but like,
No, she has probably a 9mm Glock because
Yeah.
that's Hollywood's most favorite gun is the 9mm. Yes, it'll screw you up if you get shot with it. I've also seen crackheads where they've gotten shot 19 times and they barely went down to the ground afterwards because they were like a locomotive. So for it to go and he's like, "Ugh, ugh." I'm good. We're fine. It's all good. We're having fun.
Comment. I will make sure that makes it to Tracer. I will buy her a new blue ball. That's her favorite.
oh yeah,
And for you,
I can say it like that.
Don't you want a balloon?
and then her sister's sleeping next to her, but her sister's a little shit. May, yeah, she's a little shit. Sorry, I'm
Tracer and May.
MEI from Overwatch.
I like
Mhm.
Tracer just because because I was in the military, so Tracer rounds.
Oh, when we I don't want to say too loud, but when I send them back to their crates, we say recall, and then they go to their crates. That's their
Nice.
thing. But to come to us, it's Accio, which is the Harry Potter spell. Anyway, I digress.
No, that's fun to know actually, and the fact
Abby
that it works.
It does. And she's just staring at me right now. She's like, "Come on, man. Finish up, mom." Okay. All right. So Abby shoots. Does she kill Tommy? We don't even know. We don't even
No,
know
she
if
doesn't.
Tommy's still
No,
alive.
Tommy's alive, but
Jesse's
forgot
dead.
it. Jesse's dead. The way he's just like,
And Ellie comes out of hiding, and Abby goes, "I let you live, and you wasted it." See
Yeah.
that this makes it to May. This is MEI, but close enough. Little shit. Thank you, sir. That's very cute.
yeah. The sad part, I'm watching this right now, not on YouTube. Just it's only 2-minute scene, but yeah, this scene plays verbatim from the game, which is how bad it was in the game.
Ugh.
Because
Will you comment?
it's exact same way he dies in the game too.
yeah, it's fucking retarded.
Not my Korean beefcake. All right, comment.
See
Here you go.
this? This is my boomstick.
In the game, Tommy lives but is paralyzed pretty much. Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
this sounds like a fun game.
Oh, it's awful.
I know. She realizes it's that she let Ellie live. I let you live and you wasted it. And then she pulls her gun to shoot Ellie and it goes to black, guys. What the fuck?
Yeah, and the dialogue, and again, same thing. That was dialogue in the game. She's like, "We let you both live, and you wasted it." And she has the same shitty handgun in the game too.
Also, at the same time, too, she's pointing the gun at Tommy, and you're like, no, don't shoot. And it's like she could have shot him 87 times in the amount of time that it took you two to talk. You could have came out with your gun raised, and she had the gun on the ground, and you could have blown her head off faster. Also, even if you had your gun down, right? She threw a gun. This is something they were within literally 7 feet of each other. This is something that they teach you in the military and in law enforcement. A person with a knife can cover a 20-foot gap faster than a police officer can unholster his gun, aim, and fire and kill the cop. She could have easily ran and tackled her. I mean, she might have fired, maybe, but
We won't
probably
know until
not.
season 4. We
No,
won't know. If
we'll
it's up
find
to
out.
Neil, we won't know because season 3 is supposed to be from Abby's perspective, the entire season, and then he's asking for season 4 to conclude. So this is another problem with this season. We're not going to get a conclusion. We're not going to find out what happens. This is a cliffhanger, so we're not going to find out what happens for potentially 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Because if they have it their way, they're going to just do Abby for season 3, which honestly might actually be good because it's going to be new writing and I like Caitlin Dever, whatever her name is, and she's a really good actress, so maybe she can hold a show for a couple episodes. And I would be interested to see if they go with my idea that they should just focus on Wolf versus the Seraphites and just expand on that and add that in. Probably makes sense. But we're going to get season 3 in what? A year and a half?
Year and a half.
And then from that point, we're going to have to go into another year and a half before we get season 4, before this cliffhanger is even approached, before we find out if Ellie lives, Tommy lives. And I get it. I see Andrew dropping it from the game. And of course, they're probably going to follow close to the game. I like this one. He's like, in the game, you find a generator for the lights. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, yes, that makes sense,
see.
but they don't explain that. And so I'm one of those people that, quite frankly, again, I'm a massive fan of Fallout. You see where they have the mechanics to actually have power or have this or have that.
I think the power in the theater, if they find a generator, I don't think that needs to be explained to the audience. We already know that these people are survivalists. They try to, so like I don't need it to be like face front.
How big is the generator though? Because that theater is the size of Texas. It's not like it's an apartment with you where you have a little 5 horsepower generator. That's where I mean, again, I know I'm nitpicking, but it's because they want to disregard the actual gun physics, but then all of a sudden we have power and like, what's up? And it's like, really? Like, what the fuck? Seriously? This crap?
I'm less worried about the power to the theater and more worried about the writing quality of this show. And while I'm curious, Andrew, why you think season 3 is going to be great because the end of part 2 is gut wrenching. Hey, all opinions are welcomed here, but how they've conveyed it to screen and the writing quality for it has drastically decreased, in my opinion, from season 1. And I really liked season 1. So I
was mediocre about season 1.
I'm just curious to see how this is going to play out. Now, it cuts to black, but time shifts, right? We get Abby's perspective where the episode ends to Seattle day 1. So we're going back in time, where this felt very much like a video game. The way she was walking down the hall, like this part right here, very much felt like I was following a video game character the whole way.
Yeah, it definitely did, and I thought that.
Like she looks more like Ellie right there, this upcoming shot, than Belle Ramsey ever fucking will. It's to start like that right there.
Yeah.
That looks so much like Ellie, like at least more like the game. It's
I quit on season 1, episode 8.
Also at the same time though, I will admit this. She looks more manly right here as if they masculined her up than when she killed Joel. And I think doing that on purpose because they're trying to lean in again to what the game did. I'm not saying she's going to be like, roided out. Like that's just stupid. But she looks more masculine here than she looks a lot less feminine than Caitlin Dever did when we first met her.
Yeah.
More boobs. I mean, I agree. Frost.
I've never played the games, and I know Abby is very manly in the second game. She's still. I looked it up. She's still a woman, but I understand. I understand where their perspective. I don't need her to be manly in this show, to be honest. And it's why I disagree with John because of the route they're taking with this show. She can still be a good soldier using her advantages of her size and such. Doesn't mean she's going to overpower somebody that's 6 foot, 203 pounds in the real world. Now, in Last of Us world, she probably am, but I am okay with this. She's a competent actor, so I like her for that. I think she could take the role of Abby and expand on it. That being said, will I be interested in a year and a half before the next season comes apart? And how are they going to expect normies, and no offense to normies, to stick around for 2-3 years before they get the conclusion of what just happened between her and Ellie?
Well, they're not, because the normies dropped off after Joel was killed. Because everybody was like, "On hold up, wait a minute, are you serious? Are you kidding?" Like, and then of course when the normies found out from people who maybe played the games, and I'm not saying there was a massive, mixing and matching and stuff like that. They just watched the show, and Joel didn't come back for the most part. The normies went, "Dude, fuck this. I don't want to watch this show. Like, you killed one of the reasons that I liked the show. It was the interaction between Joel and Ellie, because it is the Joel and Ellie show. It always has been, from day one in the game, day one in the first season." And then you went, and that's why from day one, I dared them. I'm like, "Just do it. You're not going to do it in the second season." I was like, "There's no way. They would be psycho to do it," and they did it. Now you have
Of course they're gonna do it though, right? I mean, that's the story.
Well, eventually,
that they're playing
yes,
out. Yeah.
but
No,
you have to fill 2 more seasons. You're not. No, it's not going to happen.
If Neil wants to expand more on the Abby Ellie kind of dynamic, or as Andrew said, they're probably going to focus on the Scars versus Wolf, since there's 2 characters, Leave and Yara, that should be introduced. Season 3 could potentially be good, because we're pulling away from the Ellie Joel story, because in my opinion they fucked it up completely in this season. I don't think there's a huge emotional impact for it. But I would be curious to see how it plays out.
I'm going to watch it. I will. And this has been a lot of fun. So I definitely want to watch it. It makes it more fun, talking about with people in the chat and stuff like that. But, and again, Andrew is very right. Joel dies very early in part 2, but that's why part 2 sold probably 11 million copies tops. It sold 10 million in the opening weekend, and sold maybe another 1 million after the fact. And they had to offer refunds because they CGI'd Joel over another character in the trailer that he was not in. It was a separate character talking to Ellie later on in the game. They had to offer refunds, or they were going to be sued for literally false advertisement.
Yeah.
And there was a lawsuit already pending.
Will we see a lot of Abby and flashbacks? The main themes will be who is really at the wrong. Is Ellie and Joel the bad guy, or is Abby the bad guy? Everybody is the bad guy, in my opinion. It's just a cycle of revenge. There is no good guy, in my opinion. Even Joel, as much as I liked his character, I liked Pedro as Joel, to be honest. I don't think he was a good guy. I think it just shows humanity at its worst. People are just surviving and being selfish. However, I don't think we're going to have flashbacks. If they're going to get what they want to completely tell the Abby story's perspective for season 3. So this would be completely Abby and the Wolf versus Seraphites, and then season 4 would conclude the Abby and Ellie storyline. So it would be very interesting to see what they play out. Potentially, they could redeem themselves with a solid season 3. However, they cannot no longer rely on Pedro Pascal to come back in flashbacks anymore either.
Well, and to what Andrew said, that was a problem. And Ryan, like me and many people, millions of people said they felt Joel was the main character of the first game. He was also in the wrong. You could say the hero, the main protagonist. Then the second game spends the entire game telling us why he was wrong, the villain, even retconning Abby's father, and why we should actually beat him to fucking death for his decisions to save his surrogate daughter's life. The decision that any father on earth would have made.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, Abby's dad, he lurched at Ellie with a scalpel. That's why Joel blew his fucking head off.
Yeah.
Literally, he lurched at her with a scalpel.
And
what are you gonna do? Like, Dude, yeah, cut her up, man. Whatever. Like,
And even
are you
remember the whole
serious?
bullshit with Neil Druckmann recently now retconning. Oh, there was always a cure. No, if you play the first game and the
No, there's
files and
no.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was like
That
they
is the
actually
worst thing to come out of his fucking mouth.
yeah.
I'm so mad at him. I'm mad for the fans because the reason not to say that, to leave it as interpreted as people want to, allows fans to come together and have the conversation about it. And now you fucking took that away from them because you're a
Well,
selfish piece of shit.
Definitely.
he's the Kathleen Kennedy of Naughty Dog. He literally is. Like he's literally got his dick caught in the door literally years ago, back in 2020, and he just can't stop he pulls it out and then he puts it back in and goes, well, maybe this, guys, and then like everybody's like, all right, shut the door again, and then he's constantly steamrolling his own bullshit down our throats, and we're like, dude, we know how this works. We saw the game. Now everybody's seen the show. We know how this all works from the game and the show. It's no different. You're a liar. And you should not be anywhere near this television show.
Yeah. No, and even with the second game, that was the bad dialogue, which because Neil Druckmann was the pure writer on part 2 versus part 1 game wise. Joe talking to Ellie, Ellie's like, "Oh, Joe, you took away my purpose, my sense of belonging." And instead of having Joel say, "Listen, I read the files in the tape recorders. There were other kids they actually did experiment on. I saved your life because it wasn't a guaranteed cure. But in the second game, they make it out like, oh, it was a guaranteed cure, and you selfishly saved my life to like take the cure from humanity." No, it wasn't. And if only Joel would have said this to her in fucking dialogue, I didn't just selfishly save you. I stopped you from being experimented on, also without your fucking consent, too. Just take a random 12-year-old girl who they may have a cure, may not have a cure. You're not the only kid they actually experimented on. So I did save your fucking life from a brutal fate. Come on.
Yeah, well, the time has come. We have completed season 2 of The Last of Us. I want to thank the audience who has been with us since day one. You guys are awesome. Blue, final thoughts on this awful fucking season?
Yeah, as we've all said to death, Ryan and anybody watching that are gamers, everybody knew the backlash to fans, game sales proved it, user ratings, etc. You had the opportunity to correct your mistakes. And instead of correcting your mistakes, it's like, no, a massive fuck you. Let's just make it even worse. Yes, there were a couple good scenes. Obviously, the big battle sequence with the CGI and the zombies. There is some good actors in the show. Caitlin Dever as Abby. Even Pedro, last episode, him and Ellie, the whole dinosaur and going to the museum sequence. Yep. Pedro
was great.
Exactly. But overall, and especially even in the show, why is Joel crying for? Why is Joel whining when Abby's about to beat him to death? I'm going to give you one chance to say your piece and tell the truth. Maybe explain to her that your father was about to kill my surrogate daughter, and said the entire time just sits there, doesn't say a fucking word as she beats him to death. Like, explain your fucking case. Maybe that would have meant something. So the show is actually, from a narrative standpoint, it's actually worse than a game. And
I agree.
And what's like, Ryan, I hated the fucking game. I was hoping you guys, the game is shit. You can fix this. You make it even fucking worse. The whole when Ellie says I'm gonna be a dad, the whole fucking internet is like, wow, how do you make something bad and now make it terrible? I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, but like at this point, I would rather replay the game or watch the game cutscenes over this, because as bad as the game was, at least Ellie and Abby had one straight narrative. Bella Ramsey, is she flirting? Is she happy? Is she out for revenge? Her and Dina go on a fucking happy-go-lucky like adventure. They're smiling, they're kissing, having lesbian sex, versus at least in the game, once Joel's dead, Ellie's entire story now is getting revenge. Now it's like this whole thing's a big fucking field trip, and you're like, oh yeah, and this whole extra stuff with the Fireflies the Seraphites and WLF, and you're like, this entire season is so bloated, it's embarrassing. And yeah, terrible fucking season.
Would it still be worth playing for the gameplay, or better to replay first game?
I would replay the first game. Don't play the DLC. And the only reason I say don't play the DLC, because there was not actually any hate when the DLC came out, and when Ellie was actually found out to be a lesbian, nobody cared. Now we care, because this was pre all this garbage that we all have to deal with and talk about, and gets shoved down our throats, and it's like, I don't want to complain about things. I really don't. Look, I liked the Thunderbolts. I had problems with some of the movie, but I thought, okay, you got superheroes doing superhero stuff, and like at least at the end there were some stakes, right?
Yeah.
You know, there were some shocking factors, and there were some good-hearted moments.
I
I
agree.
liked it.
Yeah.
Does everybody love it? No.
I want you and Nadia. The guy who played Sentry, he was pretty fucking good, actually.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
And that was Bob from Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, I get to
did
be
not-
Bob again.
Same thing. I did not hate Thunderbolts as much as some people. I'm watching this like, you know what? This isn't that bad. At least it's got problems, but like compared to Captain America 4, like
yeah, and I watched that too, because again, you know, like I fell in love with the MCU because my dad took, you know, my mom, my sister, and I to see the first Iron Man in theaters. So it's always been kind of like a tradition. I literally watched Endgame. I think I saw it 3 times, and I watched it again with my parents the 4th time because I was like, I want to watch it with my parents. That's a family thing. You've made it to where this is not even a family thing anymore. People don't want to watch this with their kids. They don't want to watch it for fun. They're like, they're tired, and that bums me the gout, right? Because like I've literally been watching, and I was going to say this in the chat the other day, you know, to kind of like offset watching this show. I've been rewatching old episodes of Bar Rescue. and The Good Place, which again, you know, it got a little weird, it got a little wonky at the end, but The Good Place is still a really good show, despite some of the wonkiness at the end, because the writing is actually still good and it has good moral stories and good character development. This I don't feel the character development. I don't feel the good stories. Like, you know, the last thing I could identify with again last week was Joel sacrificing to do what was the right thing, and out of the most terrible things possible was the right thing, and he saved Ellie's life.
Oh yeah,
and she hates him for it.
Last episode too, making Joel being a piece of shit for killing Joe Pansley, Ola. It's like he did the most merciful thing, and again, him not to be a fucking bad guy. What'd you expect the guy? You can't bring an infected dude back to fucking base, man. It's not gonna happen. It takes one bite to wipe out all of Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like, and they make Joel, just have him talk to his time. Bullshit. No, it's not.
And that shows Ellie's lack of maturity. It almost feels like, even though we're at the season finale of this season, that this show's just got started. Like it doesn't pace well. There's no high and low arcs throughout it. I could give 2 shits about a character's sexuality as long as it's not the main character's personality trait. And I feel like if they wrote Ellie just a little bit more mature, like how they have Dina, it would balance better. Even if it was Bella Ramsey as Ellie, but it doesn't come across very well. Let's be honest,
2 episodes, we'll say, I'll be generous and say 3. I guarantee I could fucking take, if I had time, I could take 7 episodes and shave this down to 3, and you wouldn't even notice the difference.
You'd make it a movie. You'd make it a movie in a sense. And I think I'm hoping that maybe, and I'm kind of with, maybe season 3 will be better because they get to expand and try something new. But I think this is just going to, I really don't think they're going to get a season 4. I think HBO is going to approach them and be like, hey, I need you to do Abby's story in the first 3 episodes and then conclude this story in the last 3 because ratings weren't that good. But I see that with even YouTubers. We are one of the few shows that cover this show. Like nobody wanted to, it was painful to ask people to get on the panel. Nobody wanted to fucking watch the show.
No, I mean, even like I was joking naughty with our friend Lance, like in High Busted Balls, like Lance, it wasn't for a friend. I had no desire to every week watch Acolyte. I watched just because a friend asked. If he didn't ask me to watch it, I just didn't give a shit. It's like even for YouTube, it's like some people do make their careers now of like, hey, it's every single week I'm gonna shit on a show for 2 hours. I'm too busy. I want to hang out with friends, talk to you, talk to Ryan, have a good time with my kid. I don't want to take the free time I do have and just bitch. I want to look forward to something like Nadia. You know, I just saw bring her back. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to whatever, just a good summer of good films. I mean, even Superman maybe, but like I'm tired of just watching shit just to shit on it.
Yeah, I'm tired of, and Gooch brought up a good point last night on Zax's channel that I think people are looking for issues. Things have always been progressive. Like storytelling can be progressive. There's always been progressive storytelling stuff, but it can be good though. And the problem is this can be progressive. I don't care. But as long as your writing is strong, the characters are there, I'm cool with it. But I think sometimes we're just, oh, Ryan dipped. We're just kind of looking for things to be to make fun of it or find problems with it. Again, I really liked season 1. I know a lot of people nitpicked it, but I thought it was a it was a solid story throughout the whole season, and they just completely, the bend was progressive.
That's why I said to you, Nadia, like I want to hear what Vex and Leon says, but I am a huge Lilo and Stitch fan. I bought the popcorn bucket, and it's almost up to like 500 million now in almost like less than 10 days. It's the biggest Disney
I got
live
turned
action.
off from going to see it because of the ending of it. We could talk about it backstage.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, but it's the point that, but right now, people though, that's the thing. But overall, though, it's doing so well because people are just tired of getting preached to and shit on, and just a good old fashioned family film about little blue alien dog. It's like it's unlike Snow White or other like Little Mermaid. There's none of this like gender ideology or something. It says that take away the ending. Stitch isn't waving a pride flag. Lilo isn't non-binary. It's just a fucking kids movie.
Yeah, I just had it was an interesting, somebody told me about the end, but we could talk about it backstage. I'm very reluctant about Disney products. To be honest, I have been very underwhelmed throughout 2025 so far, except for Sinners and Thunderbolts is probably the top 2 for me. Even in horror, Tuesday I had the Final Girl show and everybody brought recommendations, and I was like, shit, I don't have any recommendations to put on my own list. I have Thunderbolts, so I had to convince people Thunderbolts was a horror movie.
I mean, and I'm glad Ryan says military man, but I'll keep praising it. But whenever we get to the end of the year, I thought Warfare was 90 minutes. I watched it in IMAX. It's the best experience I've had in 2025. It's a quick 90 fucking minutes. It's a simple storyline. It's just badass fucking action. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my internet took a dive. We've had like weird storms and winds and stuff like that, and like nothing like major, but I think it just like it's like the second time, literally within the last like 3 hours, it's knocked the internet out. So, I have no idea where we left off. So
it's all good. We're gonna get out of here. Blue, what do you got going on next?
With you tomorrow, Stranger Things. And then let's see what else. Nick is doing Bloodsport on Monday, and I'm back to at least episode 3 today. So tomorrow I'm just gonna go through 4, 5, 6, 7, just get drunk and watch all fucking 4 in a row. And I do want to be Kazan because I do have Expedition 33. Everyone hates me. Like everyone's like, Chris, play this fucking game. I was like, let me be Kazan first. But yeah, I know I'm trying to get the one game everyone's talking about. So just like the movie industry, there's a lot of good games out. A lot of good games came out. Stop bitching about Assassin's Creed or Star Wars. Buy Expedition 33.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you got going on next?
I'm gonna jump on my friend's show. He sent me the link. My internet was shit, so I didn't realize that he actually sent it to me. I never got a notification, so that's gonna be fun to explain. Since they've been live for like an hour, for like the last hour. No, this show sucks. Hold on, maybe camera. Oh, look, camera. I don't know about season 3, guys. I mean, I will review it. Well, I definitely want to be here and review it, but I don't know how they're gonna steer out of this skid. It just doesn't make any sense. So that being said, I don't know where I'm gonna be next, to be honest.
All good. You're all good. As for myself, hold on one second. I'm gonna have you guys reroute to Corey's channel. So if you're still in the chat, stick around. I'm gonna have you. They're talking about zombies over there.
Nice.
So, and if you do end up over there, tell them I sent you. As for myself, tomorrow, Stranger Things season 3, episode 3 and 4. Even though I did not hit my super chat goal, I will say this: we will discuss bring her back on Monday. So I do want to do a separate stream because Tuesday I want to do Bone Tomahawk and some news. So I'll talk to you, Blue, backstage so we can coordinate so that maybe I'll go before Nick's show so that you can be. Anyway, we'll figure it out. and then let me see. Do I still have my little? I do. Haha. Yeah, so that's it for May. And then Saturday, we're having the members watch party, which is going to be Megan. So if you are a member, you'll be chilling with me while we check out Megan to prepare for the Megan 2.0 that's coming out in
I'm looking
June.
forward to that for all the wrong reasons.
I am too.
I know.
I am too.
Seriously.
I'll take some shrooms and just go with it, man.
It's the Fast and Furious of the horror franchise, and you know what?
No, it is. It's Terminator Judgment Day. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's it is. It's T2. So I am. I'll be doing that. So that's so Friday Stranger Things, Saturday Megan, and then Monday bring her back, talk to me stream. So we'll talk about both of the movies and stuff like that. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, chat. You guys have been fucking awesome, honestly, with everything going on. Like, you guys have been awesome with your commentary throughout this whole entire weeks. So I really appreciate you guys. We will be back for season 3. I just don't know when season 3 will happen. As for this slot for Thursday, there won't be a show next week, but I'll figure out something for the following week. I'm traveling next week, but Thursday I'll be back in 2 weeks on Thursday. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together, guys. We always do. And again, if you get over by Corey, tell him I sent you. Until next time, y'all, you know what to do. Stay spooky, y'all. Bye.